Hey everyone, welcome to my first YouTube video. Today I'm going to be talking about the ins and outs of 2026, and I think the beginning of the year is just a really crucial time for all of us to kind of reflect and kind of establish the vibe for the upcoming year. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I have them all written down in my little notebook here, so excuse me if I look down to remember the list, but let's just dive right in. First in is being delusional, and that's kind of what I'm doing by making these videos and making content. A big goal for me personally in 2026 is to make content and put myself out there more. I've kind of always been the person to be like, nope, it's not for me, I don't think I can do it, blah 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 blah, but I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna be delusional. I have career goals and I have aspirations that I want to accomplish this year, and I've decided to just be delusional and do it. Obviously in a healthy way, but you know what I mean. Next is working out consistently. For me personally, I want to go to the gym at least 3 to 4 times a week, no excuses, and for at least 30 minutes. I think that's pretty low commitment. I started lifting last year and I think it's completely transformed the way that I feel about my body. Not even looks wise, just I feel healthier and I feel stronger. And I also think that I've been eating better because of it, and I've been eating more. So love the results, and I want to keep that going in 2026 and stay on the health train. Next is to not be afraid to try new things and fail. I always say to myself that failure is really important. We all need to fail once, yada yada yada, and then I never follow my own advice. But I am too afraid to try new things because I'm afraid of failure, which is a very common fear that we all have. But I'm gonna again be delusional and just try new stuff. One of them is content creations. Hello, here I am. But I encourage you to do the same with me, and we can try new hobbies together and we can build our dream life in 2026. Next is gardening. I love gardening. I got a few plants last year. I killed a few plants last year, but I think I finally got the hang of it. Currently, I keep all my plants in this plant. You see like a fake plant right now, but there's like real plants. Here, let me show you. This is my plant collection. Yeah, want to get into gardening more. I've been really into green lately, so it just adds color to the room, and I just like taking care of something. Next is digicams. I have had a digicam for years, and I know it's like a huge trend right now, like digicam, but besides just using it for like the going out pictures, which is always slay. I mean, I'm always the girl to take pictures of all my friends. Here's my digicam. The prettiest, most beautiful thing I own. But actually using it for photography purposes, I feel like we all have one and we take it out to take cute pictures with our friends, but maybe obtaining a new hobby and elevating the use of the digicam. I know that the ones from like 10 years ago that are super popular right now that you find in your parents' closet, you know, and you kind of repurpose it for your own thing, they might not be the best for photography, but I do think that like newer digicams like the G7X, this is the Canon SX740, they all have amazing capabilities to take actual landscape photos and things like that, and so I personally really want to focus on that skill of mine in this upcoming year. Next is wearing clothes with natural fibers. Microtrends are out in 2026, personally for me at least. I want to buy clothes that actually have durability and they last long, and if I choose to get rid of it, I know it will decompose. You know what I mean? I think everything is polyester these days. I literally bought a pair of jeans and they're made out of polyester. Since when are jeans made out of polyester? Denim is supposed to be made out of cotton. We're setting humanity back, guys. This is horrifying. But no, actually buying clothes with natural fibers makes it last longer, keeps you warm, and it just looks better. It looks less cheap. You can spot polyester from a mile away. You can spot something that's from Shein from a mile away. And I know people are like, oh, Subhi, you've bought stuff from Shein before. Yes, I have. Now I really prioritize, if I have Shein items, using it to their full potential and actually wearing them or repurposing them into something else, or buying environmentally conscious clothes. Next is wooden accents and interior decorating. I think this was like a huge thing in the early 2000s or like the 2010s. Like a bunch of homes came with like wooden trim, like oak wood, door frames, things like that. People had a lot of wooden like accented pieces in their bedroom, like their nightstand had a wood grain, things like that. And then I feel like white furniture with the rise of minimalism became really popular in the, I guess, mid to late 2010s, which I think we're still kind of in that, but we're slowly getting out of it. I personally want to get out of that. Me, as I say that, with my white bed and gray walls. Guys, it came with the apartment. I can't help it. The bed didn't, but the walls came with the apartment. It's like, I personally want to get out of it with my interior decorating. I know it doesn't look super promising right now because this is my room, but that's the goal of 2026, you know what I mean? So I want to get more room decor that's a little bit more personal. I want to get more wooden accents that add a little bit of depth and color to the room, so not everything's white and gray. I'm kind of trying, like the wood frame has a little bit of like wood accent, and then I have like another little cart in my room that has like a wooden tray top thing. Yeah, it just adds a little bit of warmth, a little bit of character, and I love the wood natural thing. Maybe it's also going around with my gardening. Gardening just adds a bit of nature to the room, and so does wood, which I welcome. And lastly is cooking. I got into cooking last year. I feel like most people do once they start becoming an adult. I'm 23, almost 24, and I was like, I need to eat something other than pasta and carbs when I cook for myself because I'm eating out too much. And so I started making a bunch of stuff. Put it here, and I want to keep that going in 2026. I want to try new cuisines. I want to try making things like sushi and vegetarian friendly things. I'm vegetarian, and things that are high protein, healthy for you, all that good stuff. And I want to just continue that momentum in 2026, and obviously I'll share all my yummy recipes with you, which is part of the content that I want to make in the future. Now for my outs. No. Number one is minimalism. I think we're already as a society coming out of this with the rise of overconsumption, but not in a way that will make me buy more stuff, just in a way that I buy stuff that isn't so plain. You know what I mean? Like when I'm buying my usual like plate, like if I go buy Tupperware or like a cutlery set, or if I go buy like a hair clip or something, I'm not gonna get the basic black one. Maybe I'll get one with a little bit more character. That's personally what I want to focus on. I want to become more personal with my style, with my interior decorating, with just becoming more intentional with the things that I buy, not things that are super cookie cutter. Again, not super promising with my surroundings, but the point is just to grow on that in 2026, yes? Next is 14 karat gold. Now, if you're a 14 karat gold girly, all the power to you. I know the color may look better on your skin tone. I know. All the power to you. For me personally, 14 karat gold is out. I mean, it's been out, but now it's definitely out. Let me tell you a little story. So I bought my very first fine jewelry piece last year with my very first paycheck. And it was, I'm not gonna name the brand because I feel like that's not the point. But it was from a popular mid-size luxury brand that you can find at most malls, I feel like. And it was on a 14 karat gold chain with 6 little mini diamonds, very small diamonds, and it was $600. And I was like, this is gonna be a purchase that I'm gonna wear every single day. I can justify the price. $600 seems, and it's solid gold, it should be fine. It tarnished within a month. Like, it's 14 karat solid gold from their fine jewelry collection. It should not tarnish. I know a lot of people don't have problems with 14 karat gold jewelry, but I did, and I'm just relaying my experience to you. So now all I buy really is 18 karat gold jewelry, and I know that might not be in everyone's budget or things like that, but I'm Indian, so I go to India pretty often, and that is where I buy a lot of my gold because it's a lot cheaper. But like, this necklace is 18 karat gold. I wear rings usually, those are 18 karat gold. I have a few 22 karat gold pieces. However, 22 carats does pull very yellow on me, so I tend to stay away from that. Also, 22 karat is a little soft, like for me too. So a lot of scratches happen to form on my 22 karat gold jewelry. So I like to stick to 18 karat gold jewelry. For moving forward, I've never had any issues, no tarnishing whatsoever, because the gold content is so much higher. And I do think that if you happen to go overseas to like any Middle Eastern or South Asian country, you will find a lot of good gold options. So I highly recommend. Next is complaining. we're not complaining in 2026. I feel like I check myself on this a lot too. Like I'm complaining about my latte tasting too bad or whatever. And yes, we're all entitled to our bad days, but I think the best way to turn a bad day around is gratitude. I feel like we need to bring gratitude back. I think gratitude for me just kills the complaining. And we all hate being around complainers, you know what I mean? People that always have their glass half full, so let's not become complainers, right? Next is pro-Ana content. Do I even need to explain? Like, why are we doing this? It's like, it's not 2008 anymore. Why are we doing this? I feel like yes, we like swung the pendulum way over in terms of body types with like the whole 2016 BBL era, and now we're like swinging the pendulum back with the pro-Ana content from the 90s. We don't need to do that. I get so much and I don't even interact with it. I just like what I interact with is like fit checks and like recipe videos, like healthy recipe videos and vegetarian and vegan content, and then somehow the pro-Ana stuff just like trickles in there, and I'm just like, guys, I didn't ask for this. We're gonna be healthy together and have a healthy BMI and a period in 2026. Next is vegetarian and vegan shaming. Coming from a vegetarian, I'm not a vegan, but from a vegetarian. Like, I feel like with the whole pro-protein discourse on the internet, people are really hating on vegetarians and vegans because they're like, where do you get your protein from? Guys, a lot of protein sources exist that are vegetarian and vegan friendly. For example, beans, legumes, tofu, dairy products, yogurt. I mean, that's a dairy product, but those are 5 pretty big ones. There's a lot of grains that have protein, like quinoa is a complete protein. There are a lot of things. Also, a vegetarian vegan diet has a lot of fiber. It's high in fiber, which is very important if you're eating a lot of protein. So I think that we should leave that behind in 2026 and not shame people for their dietary choices. Because I'll be scrolling on Instagram and I find like a really good like vegetarian vegan recipe, and under the comments are like, add a cow in there, it'll be good, or whatever. And let's just not do that. At least I don't make fun of people or care if people eat meat. I don't really understand why people care so much that I don't. Next, I might be ruffling some feathers with this one, but toy keychains on bags, like the whole Labubu trend and the whole like putting a fluffy keychain on a really high-end purse trend. Not for me personally. I just think it kind of looks silly, and I know that's the point. Like, I know maybe I'm not the aesthetic for this thing and it's supposed to look silly. I just think that it's a micro trend. It's like landfill stuff that's being made, and in about 2 months, it's all gonna end up in the trash. That's how I personally feel about like 80% of the people that buy this stuff. Now, obviously, if you're a collector, like this doesn't apply to you, but this is just my opinion. Next is fake sales by companies. By that, I mean like a 10% off sale or a 25% off sale. Like it's Black Friday and it's like 10% off Aritzia. That's fake. 10% is nothing, all right? Let's bring back the 40% off or the 50% off sales. Like a lot of things say up to 50% off, and most of the things are like 10% off. No. 50% off the whole store. Let's bring that back. You've seen the inflation prices, guys. I'm paying $160 now for a pair of jeans. Let's make that $80 so it's a normal price again. And finally, to close my video, the last out is herd mentality, especially with consumerism. Having the next best thing, the next exclusive thing, and then once you have it, the dopamine dies down and you're left with nothing but emptiness. Obviously, I'm being dramatic, but for example, I recently saw that Walmart had these little puppy lamps, and now everyone's like going crazy for this puppy lamp. Okay, do you need a lamp? Like, do you actually need this? Will you, like, I'm sure you'll use it because it's a lamp, but it's like, do you need this? Will it just like make clutter in your house? Just being more mindful with your purchases and not buying the next best thing. The one that really sent me over the edge was when TJ Maxx had like the beaded bags, and everyone was on the hunt to find every single beaded bag that some TikTok influencer talked about. And I'm like, guys, you will literally never use this again. And they were like $30 a pop, and they're coming from places like India and stuff. And those, like the beaded bags, you can only do that by hand. There's no machine, at least not that I know of, that can automate making those beaded types of bags. So someone in India or wherever is getting paid like nothing to make that bag for you. I just think it's ridiculous, and you're probably not going to use it. Don't sue me. That is it for my ins and outs video. Let me know if you agree with my takes. Sorry if I offended you. That was definitely not my intention. This is more so just a personal list for me, but if you happen to agree, the discourse is welcome. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to make more long form content in the future. Please follow and subscribe to me. Thank you so much for your support. Bye.